Everyone is talking about AI right now, and most people assume the biggest winners will simply be big tech companies that can build the largest data centers the fastest. But what if the real AI advantage isn't even on Earth? Today, I want to walk you through a powerful chess move that most investors haven't connected yet: the merger between SpaceX and xAI, and why orbital data centers will give Elon Musk an AI advantage no other company on the planet can match. This isn't hype or sci fi, it's about infrastructure, physics, and first mover advantage, the same forces that have created the biggest fortunes in tech history. And if this vision plays out, it has the potential to create one of the most valuable companies in the world. So buckle up, because we're about to lift off and look at AI from orbit. What if I told you that the real grand idea behind the SpaceX xAI merger isn't about rockets or chatbots, but about solving the biggest bottleneck holding AI back from scaling: data centers? Let's keep this simple. SpaceX already dominates rockets, satellites, and orbital infrastructure, while xAI is building next-generation artificial intelligence, and together will control where AI runs, where AI gets its data, and how fast it can learn and scale. This isn't just another AI startup chasing software trends. This is about owning the physical layer of AI, not just the code. Most beginner investors think AI is limited by talent or algorithms, but that's not exactly true. AI is limited by power, cooling, latency, and data transfer costs. On Earth, data centers are overheating, energy costs are exploding, land is scarce, and governments regulate everything, while AI demand is growing faster than Earth can realistically support. That's exactly the problem orbital data centers solve, and if you understand that early, you start to see why this idea could represent one of the biggest long-term opportunities in the entire AI revolution. So what exactly is an orbital data center, and why is Elon Musk uniquely positioned to pull this off? Think of an orbital data center as a massive AI supercomputer in space, powered by the sun, cooled naturally by the vacuum of space, and connected to the entire planet through satellites. And when you break it down like that, the advantages become obvious: near unlimited solar energy instead of expensive power grids, natural cooling instead of overheating server farms, instant global access instead of regional bottlenecks, infrastructure that's harder to disrupt or regulate, and lower latency through a satellite mesh rather than congested ground networks. And this isn't science fiction, this is already being built in pieces today. SpaceX already launches the hardware into orbit, Starlink already moves massive amounts of data around the globe, and xAI is building the intelligence that runs on top of it all. Here's the key point beginner investors need to understand: no other company controls all three layers. Amazon has cloud infrastructure but no rockets. Google has world-class AI but no orbital infrastructure. And Microsoft has massive compute but no way to launch or operate hardware in space. Elon Musk is the only person on the planet positioned to vertically integrate AI from orbit all the way down to Earth. And that's not just competition, that's true moat creation, the kind that creates once-in-a-generation companies and leaves late investors wondering how they missed it. If SpaceX and xAI fully integrate, you're not just looking at another AI company. You're looking at what could be a once-in-a-generation investment setup, where AI training costs drop dramatically, scaling becomes exponential, competitors remain stuck on Earth, governments shift from regulators to customers, and entire industries like defense, telecom, robotics, and autonomy begin to converge under one platform. This isn't AI as a product. This is AI combined with space, energy, communications, and defense. A true platform that sits underneath everything else. And here's the uncomfortable truth for beginner investors: most retail money shows up too late, buying after IPOs, after the hype, and after valuations have already exploded. Because by the time Wall Street fully understands something as big as orbital AI infrastructure, most of the upside is already priced in. Early investors don't wait for certainty. They recognize directional inevitability. And Elon Musk has a long track record of doing what looks impossible early, only for it to become obvious later. Now let's be clear, this is not guaranteed, and there are real risks, including regulatory pressure, massive capital requirements, technical execution challenges, and uncertain timelines. But that's exactly what high-reward opportunities always look like at the beginning. And for long-term investors, the biggest risk usually isn't volatility or uncertainty. It's watching something transformational unfold from the sidelines and realizing you understood it, just a little too late. If this thesis plays out, a future SpaceX XAI wouldn't just try to compete with big tech, it could replace entire layers of it. Because AI doesn't win on intelligence alone, it wins on infrastructure. And the companies that control the infrastructure control the future. While most investors are focused on software and apps, the real opportunity may be in the platform those systems run on, and that platform may not even be on Earth. If you're a beginner investor who wants exposure to the next phase of AI, not just what's popular today, but what everything will be built on tomorrow, this is exactly the kind of opportunity you want to understand early, before it becomes obvious to everyone else. This was part 1 of the SpaceX XAI merger thesis, and in part 2 I'll break down the rumored initial public offering, expected around late 2026, and why it could represent a once-in-a-generation opportunity for retail investors who are paying attention now instead of chasing it later. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone looking to invest in the future of AI infrastructure, with a focus on long-term growth and real fundamentals, not hype. And as always, remember, investing involves risk. This video is not financial advice, and you should always do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions. This is the J Money Show. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.